Yeah, in this video we'll be doing CSS list. Okay, CSS list. Okay, let me create a list. Okay, so to do that, let's use the word. There are two types of lists. We have ordered list and unordered list. Okay, so as we proceed, you see the differences. Okay, to do that, we use UN, which stands for unordered. Let's start with unordered, then we'll now do ordered. Unordered list. Inside this unordered list, you will now use uh the list elements. Inside this unordered list, I will now use this list and I started meaning for listing. Okay, that's the elements. Then inside it, let me use the word um I am an okay, I am an unordered list. That English, I don't know how it sounds. I am on ordered list. Don't know why that sound good. And I am an. It's supposed to be an here. I am an unordered. So when I put O here, I'm unordered. I am an on. Oh, this thing. I am an unordered. I am an unordered. Let me use, yeah, this is it. Okay, let me duplicate this list to up to, let me use 4. Let me list it up to 4. So shift alt drop down arrow key up to 4 places. Then let me give it a number so it will look different. Let me say, okay, let me just leave it this way. Let me leave it this way. Okay, so this is for an unordered list, which is the reference is UN. Okay, now let me do another one. The next one is ordered list. Okay, under here, let me use on elements. Inside the ol elements, I'll also do the same thing here. I'll use list elements. Then I'll now say I am I am I am an ordered yeah, ordered. I think that's the correct spelling. Ordered. That's the correct spelling. I am an ordered list. Let me use this lowercase. Ordered list. Okay. So this one now by default it will just use numbers. So what the difference is that this one use symbols like dots and the dash to do its to list its content, while the other list use number by default. You can also add other things like letters or Roman figure. We also do that. Okay, so let me duplicate this thing to, let's say, 4 as well. Shift add the round key. Then remain 1. Okay, so we now have 4 two different lists. One is unordered, the second one is ordered. So now I want to target this thing inside my, I want to target this, I want to give it, I should use class. I think I will use class so I can be able to work on with it on my CSS external file. Before that, let's link our CSS file to our HTML. Let's say link, then location of your CSS file. Mine is inside CSS folder, css.style, style.css. Okay, it's now linked. Okay, so inside my CSS file, I want to change these dots, the listed pattern, which is these dots. So I'll use element selector because I want to use I don't want to target them individual. I just want to do it as they are in group like this. They are inside on ordered list. This one is in ordered list. I will use the on ordered list elements. I'll use the element selector UL. So inside the UL, open our declaration block. So I'll give it let me say list list style type. Yeah, list style type. Okay, let me give it let me say second, see how it looks like. You can see the changes here. As you can see the changes. It changed to circles. Okay, let me also change it to let me say square. Say square. You can see the changes here. You can see the changes. Okay. Then let me also do, I think there's dashed. There's something like dashed. Is it anything like dashed? Okay, it's not this, that one is for CSS border. Okay. Let me leave it at let me just give it circle. Let me use circle. Let me say circle. No, I haven't I'm supposed to write it inside the value this. So inside the value I will now say circle. So inside the circle I will now leave it here like this. Okay, so this is how to change the style of this list dots here, the on other list dots. Okay, or identification. Okay, now let me also change the one of ordered list. Let me call element selector of this on ordered list on, open a decoration block. So inside this place we also do the same thing. Let me give this in space. So list style type, okay, we have a lot of them because this one is an ordered list. So let me just use let me say Loman. Okay, you can see the listing here. Let me use Loman alpha and see how it looks like. You can see lower alphabets. You can see how it listed it A, B, C, D accordingly. But this one is just only symbol all through. Okay, let me also say um upper half and see what will happen. I think something like upper alpha makes sense. Yeah, you can see that. You can see A, B, C, D for this one. Okay. Then let me also do which other let me say Loman. Let me clean this thing. Let me use Roman figure. Let me say Roman. Upper Roman, lower. Let me use upper lower Roman figure so it will be bolder. You can see that. So what if I increase the number of this list? It will keep on updating and the list will keep on adding these values, this Roman figure in its own way. Okay, let's do that. Let me increase the number of this list, this ordered list, and see what will happen. So from here now, I'll duplicate it more. Okay, let's see what will happen. Let me add it up to 10. You can see what's happening. There is increasing, as in the list is increasing, and the automatically is adding those Lumen figures. Okay, accordingly. Okay, let me also add more and see what will keep on happening. You can see how it is listed. Okay, so what if I want? Let me change it to lower Lumen figure. So the Lumen figure will be small. Let me say lower. Okay, you can see this one make more sense. Okay, so let me just screen everything and return it back to numbers. Default is number. By default is a number. So you don't put it. So by default is a number. Okay, number listings. We have about 30 object 30 lists of items here. Okay, so the next I want to talk about is CSS I think that's so another I want to talk about is list type positioning. So let me do something here. Let me clear this one back. Okay. So inside this place, I want to use another property called list style positioning. So let me start with the first one. Okay. Uh, this an order is not supposed to be number. I want to return it back to its normal circle. Yeah. I ready to turn back to circle. Okay. Then inside this place now, let me use that property name list style position. You can see that list style positioning. Okay, let me say inside. Let me see what will happen. Okay, inside it looks okay, but if I use a full sentence, you will understand it more better. It's shifted inside, but that's what I'm looking for. Let me try it in this side, in this let me try it with other list and see what will happen. Wrist style position. Let me say out inside and see what happens. It will also push it inside. This is not really what I want. Let me create let me make the sentence a bit longer so I can get that I want to do in detail. Let me clear everything and redo it. Okay, let me say inside that our on other list inside our on other list, add the lists. Okay, inside list now, let me use a random word of, let's say 12 in a row, as in just kind of 12 letters per list, 12 words, not letter, 12 words in a list. Let me say Lauren, let me say 12. Let me see how it looks like. Enter. Okay, it's supposed to show here. What is it? Okay, this is this will give me what I want. Okay, okay, okay. Then let me duplicate. Let me increase the letter. I think, or should I leave it this way? I think it's okay. I think it's okay, but let me increase it more because I doubt that it will really give me what I want. Let me say rolling. Let me add more. Let me add more words to it. Let me say rolling 10. Okay, let me add more words. Okay, yeah, I think this one will make a little bit more sense. Okay, then let me duplicate it to set 4 places as we did it before. So we have about okay, let me add more one. We have about 4 lists now. Okay, now in our ordered list, OL, we have this list. We use total words of, we use word of total of that should be 12 plus 10, that is 22. Okay, we also use the same thing here. And I enter no. And I enter inside this list. We now say what should I do now? I should use let me use Lauren 22. So let the two words be the same thing. Okay, that uniform. Then let me put a break to separate the two. BR enter, BR enter. So there will be space between two of them. Okay. Now let me duplicate it. So shift out down arrow key, not this one, but highlight all of them, the lists. Okay, then duplicate it. What is happening here? Okay, shift arrow, drop down arrow key. Okay, well, let's make it also 4. Okay, so let me link our, we have already written this our CSS. Okay, just know that I'm just changing, I just add some words to the list element. Okay, this we have already created our CSS. I want to really illustrate the inside and outside of this property to show how it really works in a when each list have many words in them. Okay, let me link our CSS. Let me link my CSS file. Enter, then link inside this place. So just link our CSS normal way. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, this is exactly what I want. As you can see now, the list enters inside. It embedded itself inside the text. You can see this kind of listing. You can see this. But if you do outside, let's do outside on other list out. If you do outside, you can see what will happen. It will push it. It will come outside like this. Likewise in other lists, say outside, you can see it pushes out the listing number itself comes outside. You can see it. But if we do inside now, if we do in, by default is always outside. Okay, but if you want to shift it in for any reason, because like Bible is always, Bible is not, some Bible is a good example. Most of the Bible have uh, um inside inside listing, kind of inside listing. Okay, Bible is not written, but kind of the verses are most of the time are inside. Okay, something like this. So let's return it back to a inside. You can see the number is now inside. You can see it's now shift inside. It's now within. It have the same line with the text. Okay, let's also do that with our on that list. Let me say inside. You can see that. So the same thing. So this is it for CSS list. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.